of the JIB. So I'm hoping that everyone just started your preparation for your JIB examination, because you have to manage the three papers there. And if you're able to just manage the three papers like PPB, AB and LRB, so just trust me, you able to clear this examination with a very good marks. Okay, so today is a session of the AB, and that like module B we are discussing, and there are another 10 questions we are discussing of here. So I'm just requesting you, just use your pen and paper so that you get, if you're finding anything is important, so you can just pen down that. Okay, and just participate whatever the questions we are discussing here. So before to start, one update from our side, that is, our target batch is actually started. And in this, like if you just want to, like if you just want to clear your examination not only with the 50 marks but also with a very good marks. Okay, so you have to enroll in the target batch, and this batch is especially for the English medium aspirants. And this batch is also, you are getting at a very discounted price. The only thing that you have to do, that use the code Y422, and with this code you are just going to get this batch at a very minimal price. Okay, and I usually consider this kind of the investment is the only one time investment. Like you are just going to get quality content as well as a disciplined study here. And with this you also going to get the three physical Macmillan books, 84 mock tests, 82 e-books, as well as a 130 hours live classes, where the only thing that we want, that you will be able to just get a very good marks in the examination. Okay, so this target batch, enrolling for this target batch, you only have to visit the adda247.com, and where you can visit the JIB section, and you will find the multiple batches that is actually running in the bilingual as well as the English medium classes. There you will just going to get. Okay, so don't miss out this golden chance. You are getting the flat 77% off. Just use the code Y422, and you are going to get every batch, like mock test, ebooks, as well as the live classes, like at a very minimal price. Okay. So let's start today class with a very first question, that is, which of the following is prepared on the basis of the trial balance? Okay, so quickly tell me what would be the answer of this. Like I already explained you everything here. So just tell me what would be the answer of this question. Look, whenever we talk about trial balance, and on the basis of the trial balance, what we prepared, that is a very important thing to understand. This is started from the journal. The very important thing that you have to understand, this is started from the journal. After that, whatever the transaction that is going to be recorded in the journal, that is going to be posted into the ledger. Okay, after we make the trial balance, right, and after making the trial balance, we actually prepare the final accounts. And while we are talking about the final accounts, we talk about like preparation of the profit and loss statement, as well as the preparation of the balance sheet. And that all thing you are going to understand, like if we're talking about the trial balance, that you are actually running, that you are actually reading in the module B, and the final account you are going to understand in the module C. Okay, so everything you are understanding in the processing way, right? That is started from the journal, where journal is also understanding as a special type of the book, where very first time the transaction is going to record in the journal. Okay, after recording the transactions is going to post it into the ledger. And after posting into the ledger, like in the different accounts, when we talk about, after that we make the trial balance. And what is the purpose of the trial balance? To checking the arithmetical accuracy of the whatever the transactions you recorded. So when we talk about the trial balance, every debit balance should be, or say the total of the debit balance should be equal to the total of the credit balance. That is a feature of the trial balance. And after that, on the basis of the trial balance, we actually prepared the final account. And that is a very important thing. I'm hoping that everyone is just understanding this. So the correct answer, yes, that is C. Very nice attempt by everyone here. Okay, before to proceed for the next question, I just want to request you, please hit the like button on this video, and share this video to your friends and the like colleagues, so that maximum number of our bankers can join with us in this session. So let's move on to the next question. of the two sides of the trial balance does not tally. If I say that we are talking about the trial balance, and suppose that this is the debit balance and this is the credit balance. Suppose that debit balance is your 800 and the credit balance is the 850. So we can understand that the two sides are not tally, right? Because that for the trial balance, if we are talking about the trial balance, the very important thing that you have to understand, that total of the debit balance should be equal to the credit balance. And the very important thing I also explained you that, like, while making the trial balance, you have to memorize like what components you are going to keep under the debit side and what components you are going to keep under the credit side. So whenever we talk about the assets and whenever we talk about the kind of the expenses, that all we keep under the debit side of the trial balance. Okay, so if I talk about just try just let me write here. Okay, so whenever we talk about like this is a debit side and this is a credit side, and the assets and the expenses we usually keep under the debit side, and while if I say that is liabilities and your incomes, your gains, that all we keep under the credit side of the trial balance. So that is a very important thing that you have to understand, because definitely you are going to get one question from this in the examination, because this is the favorite part of the examiner for the JAIIB examination, right? Okay, so now just quickly tell me what would be the answer of this question, what would be the answer of the trial balance, like of the two sides of the trial balance. If does not tally, which account is to be debited, we have to tell that. So just tell me what would be the answer of this question. Yes, that is a suspense account. Okay. So whenever we talk about the suspense account, when any unclassified transaction is just recorded into your book, so for rectifying this, for just identifying that kind of the that kind of the account, we often just prepare the suspense account there. So the correct answer, that is a suspense account. Whenever the two sides of the trial balance does not tally, which account is open? That is suspense account is open. That is the correct answer of this question. I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this. Now, next question. Cash purchase of goods is recorded in. So whenever we talk about the cash purchases of goods, and you have to understand there are always a two kinds of the purchases as well as the two kinds of the sales. Okay, so whenever we talk about the purchases, so we have to understand there's a one kind of the purchase that is a cash in the cash, and another kind of the purchase that is known as a credit purchase. Okay, so whenever we have to talk about like cash purchase of the goods, that is recorded in which type of the book. So you have to understand that whenever we talk about the cash purchase of the goods, suppose that you purchasing the goods for the cash. Okay, so which it is going to be recorded in which book, like purchase book, sales book, cash book, in which book? So the correct answer of this, that is recorded in the cash book. Okay, so cash purchase of the goods is recorded in the cash book. This would be the correct answer of this question, right? The very important thing again I want to tell you here, and this is a very important to understand, like if we are talking about the cash book. Okay, so while we're making the debit and credit, while we're making the debit and credit side of the cash book, the very important thing that you have to understand, that what components you are going to keep under the debit side and what components you are going to keep under the credit side. Okay, so just tell me what components we keep under the debit side regularly. That is your cash receipts, that is your the cash receipts we keep under the debit side, and whatever the cash payments that we keep under the credit side of the cash book. So that would be your correct answer for this question. Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this. This is a very important concept whenever we talk about the cash purchase of the goods, where it is going to be record. So it would be going to record in the your like cash book. So that would be your correct answer for this question. Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this, right? So this debit and credit balance, this is a very important thing that you have memory, that you have to memorize. Like when we talk about like a cash book, like the debit and credit side of the cash book and the debit and credit side of the trial balance, so the very important thing that you have to understand, that what components we are going to keep under the debit as well as what components we are going to keep under the credit side of the cash book. Okay, okay. Okay, a very nice question. That is, the you are definitely going to get this kind of like, we can also understand that this kind of the form of the questions you are going to get in the examination, where the match of the followings are given, and you have to just match with the match to the column A to the column B. Okay, so there are four options are given here and here, and you have to just you have just quickly tell me if we're talking about the assets. Okay, so like in the column B, what you are getting in the asset side, like if we're talking about the asset, so what like or in the column B where you should just match this asset. Just tell me if I say that Mr. X furniture nominal account real account, so tell me asset would belongs to. Look, there is a very important thing that you have to understand. If I talk about the assets, okay, all assets we keep under the real account category, isn't it? Okay, this is fine. And if I talk about the furniture, so furniture as well just belongs to this. So it depends on the options, like in what respect examiner is asking the question, that is important. For this context, if I say that is asset would belongs to the furniture, okay, because furniture just comes under the asset. If I talk about the personal account, let's find here that is a personal account. This is a Mr. X, and Mr. X is just belongs to the natural personal account, right? So that means this personal account, just if I say that is Mr. X, would comes under the this personal account. So this belongs to this. Okay. After that, account receivables. So whenever we talk about the account receivables, that is kind of, we can say that that is a kind of the assets, right? And assets we usually keep under the real account category, right? So that we keep under the this real account. That would be the correct answer of this. That is real account. Okay. And expenses we also just keep under the nominal account category. So that would be that is the correct answer of this. That is a nominal account. Now, the very important thing that you have to understand, whenever we talk about the asset, that means asset also belongs to the real account category, right? So if I have to just match the following, and there the multiple options may be given in the examination. So you have to understand that furniture, as well as just understand, just let me erase all of the thing here. So you have to understand that asset furniture just comes under the asset, as well as assets, all assets just comes under the real account category. So based on the options, you have to just mark the answer. Okay, so assets B and D, like furniture and the real account category. Okay, personal account, whenever we talk about the personal account, so this Mr. X just belongs to the personal account. So we have to just write the option here, that is A. Account receivables, that means like from our debtors to receive the fund or to receive the amount. Okay, so that is amount receivables to understand here. So amount receivables also you can understand, that is like the debtors from whom you have to just receiving the fund, that is known as the account receivables. Okay, so that would comes under the real account. So the correct answer, that would be the D here. Next, expenses always comes under the category of the nominal account. So the correct answer here, that is C. So this is how we can just match of the followings here, that we have to understand here. So this would be your solution for this question number 4. Okay, now next question, that is balance as per the cash book, that is given 2000, and the bank charge of the 50 rupees debited by the bank is not yet shown in the cash book. So what is the bank statement balance now? That we have to just find out here. So, whenever we have to solve the question of the bank reconciliation statement, we have to understand whenever the cash book balance is given, so you have to write the passbook here. Okay. The next step, that just make the table like this, that is cash book and passbook. And if you have written the passbook here, so just circle here and just circle here. Now, balance as per the cash book, that is given the 2000 rupees. That means if the balance as per the cash book is given, that means we have to just write under the passbook here. Bank charges of 50 rupees debited by the bank is not yet shown in the cash book. That means bank actually debited the 50 rupees from the customer's account, but customer is not aware of that. That what it means, that customer is not recorded that transactions, or you can also understand that customer is actually not debiting the 50 rupees from his cash book. Okay, so that means this would result it like a 0 in the cash book. So if I say that passbook balance is a more or less than the cash book, so your answer that would be the passbook balance is a lesser than the cash book. And if it is a lesser than the cash book, that means we have to just use with the negative figure, and with what amount it is lesser than. So the correct answer that would be the 50. So now just tell me what would be the answer of here. That is then this would be the 1950 rupees. The correct answer that is the C for this option. Okay. So I'm hoping that everyone just understanding that this is how you have to just solve the questions in the examination, whether it is given the lot of conditions, but if you are strong with your basic, then nothing can disturb you while solving the question. Okay. Now, next question, a mobile purchased for 800 rupees for the son of the partner was debited to general expense account with 80 rupees in the rectifying entry drawing account should be debited. Okay. Look, whenever we talk about like any kind of the firm, suppose that we are talking about any kind of the firm, this is a firm and there is a two partner A and B. Okay, so what is the question? Suppose that partner B has a son whose name is X. So like a mobile purchase for 800 rupees for the X of the partner B was debited to general expense account with 80 rupees. Now just tell me, if any of the partner just withdrawing the money from the firm's account, that means now very first thing that you have to understand, now the two accounts would be included here. The one account that is a drawing account. So that means drawing account should be debited here. Okay, so that means drawing account should be debited here. All right. Okay, so drawing account should be debited here, but instead of drawing account should be debited here, what exactly happened? That partner was debited to general expense account. Now how to rectify that? Just understand this, that if this is a debit and this is a credit, what exactly have to what exactly we have to do here, that what is the correct entry of that, that 800 rupees should be debited here. But instead of debiting the 800 rupees, by mistake actually debited the 80 rupees but in the general expense account. Okay, so that means the very first thing that we have to do, that we have to first credit the 80 rupees in the general expense account to nullify this mistake. I'm hoping that everyone is understanding, because this is a very important concept you are going to understand. Okay, so that means we have to just credit the 80 rupees here. So this would be the first entry. After that, now it is nullifying. Now we have to credit the 720 rupees for that. And we know that the 800 rupees that on the debit side, that means 800 rupees should also be on the credit side. So that means how to make the debit and credit transaction here. So you have to write the drawing account should be debited as well as general expense account should be credited to like general expenses account and to the suspense account. The rest entry that would be paid here. So 80 rupees credit here, 720 rupees credit here, and the 800 rupees should be debited. Okay. So this would be your entry for this this question. Okay. So now the correct answer, if I ask you, that is in the rectifying entry, drawing account should be debited with the, so correct answer that would be 800 rupees. Okay, so with the 800 rupees, the drawing account should be debited, while general expense account credited by the 80 rupees, and the rest of the amount that will be credited into the suspense account. Okay, so this is how we just understand this kind of the questions for the examination. Okay, the very first thing that you have to understand, whenever any kind of the proprietor, any kind of the partner withdrawing the money or withdrawing the amount of the goods, so which accounts is going to be included? That is a drawing account, and drawing account should be debited. Okay, next question. Debit balance as per the cash book of the XYZ company is 1500 rupees. Now again important thing, that the cash book balance is given here. So we have to write the passbook balance here. So the passbook balance that is of 1500 that is given. The next step that you have to make the table like this, that is a cash book and the passbook. Now if the like the now just read the condition one by one. Check deposited but not cleared amount to the 100 rupees. That means check is deposited by the customer. If the check is deposited by the customer, that means customer is going to record this transaction with a plus 100. All right. Now that means this transaction, because not cleared, that means in the bank statement it is not reflecting. It is reflecting as a zero. For that condition, if I say passbook balance is a more or less than the cash book, so your answer that would be it is less than the cash book. And if it is less than the cash book, that means we have to use the negative figure. And by what amount it is less than? So the answer that would be the 100 rupees. Okay. After that, uh, and check issued but not presented of the 150 rupees. That means check issued for the 150 rupee, but it is not presented. Now again in the bank statement, it is reflecting as a zero. Okay. So that means now passbook balance is a greater than the cash book balance, and if it is a greater than the cash book balance, that means we have to use a positive figure here. And with what amount? That is 150 rupees. And now just tell me what would be the answer of this. So your answer that would be 1550. The correct answer that is a B option here. All right. So I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this. So this is how you have to solve the questions in the examination as well. Okay, next question. A statement showing the reasons for the difference in the cash book balance and the passbook balance is known as. So, like a statement showing the reasons for the difference in the cash book balance and the passbook balance is known as a bank reconciliation statement. That is the correct answer for this question. Okay, and this is a very obvious to understand what statement we actually prepared for the reasons for like difference in the cash book and the passbook. Whenever we talk about the cash book and the passbook, so we have to understand both are actually the mirror image of each other. So whatever you are going to keep under the debit side, that you have to keep under the credit side of the passbook. And whatever you are like we are talking about the receipts, so receipts we usually keep under the debit side of the cash book. The same receipts we usually keep under the credit side of the passbook. Okay. And payments we usually keep under the credit side of the cash book. So payment we usually going to keep under the debit side of the passbook. That you have to understand. All right. So that is a bank reconciliation statement, or this the answer of this question. Now next question. A transaction is not recorded in the book, it is considered an error of. Like I always explained you, the error of the omission, what says, like whenever you forget to record the transaction either partially or completely, so either partially or completely you forget to record any kind of the transaction, so there you have to use the error of the omission. So there you can understand the what kind of the error it is. Then this kind of the error is known as the error of the omission. This would be the correct answer for this question. All right. So this is known as the error of the omission. Okay. What we understand by the error of the principle? The simple way to understand error of the principle, whenever you just whenever you just showing the expense as a revenue and the revenue as an expense, then what kind of the error it is? That is a error of the principle. That's it. Error of the commission, wrong amount, wrong totaling, that is all about the error of the commission. Okay. So this is about this, like whenever you forget to record the partially or completed the transaction, then which kind of the error? That is partial, that is kind of the error of the omission. Okay. Now next question is, on purchase of old furnitures, the amount of the 1000 rupees is spent on its repair for cash should be debited to which account? Now the very important thing I would like to tell you, that whenever we talk about the furniture you are purchasing, that means furniture just comes under the category of the asset, and all asset we keeps under the real account category. And for the real account category, now just tell me what would be the answer of this. Just first tell me what would be the answer of this, after that I will explain you. Just tell me what would be the answer of this. Okay. So just understand, furniture that is asset for you. Asset always comes under the real account category. For real account category, we says that debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So in this case, if we are talking about the purchasing the old furniture, okay, And if we are just purchasing the old furniture, that means furniture is just coming into your business, that means we have to debit that account. Okay. And whatever the expenses on that, like whatever the expenses that is going to be incurred on that asset, that also would be debited. So if the question is that on purchase of the old furniture, the amount is spent on its repair for the cash, that means what would be the entry here? The two accounts would be involved here. The first is furniture account and another account that is known as a cash account. So furniture account should be the debited and the cash account would be the credited. And the very obvious thing that you have to understand, like cash, because you are just giving the cash, and whenever the cash is just going out from your business, cash is also just comes under the asset category. Assets also comes under the real account category. And for the real account category, golden rule of the accounting says debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So if the cash is just going out from your business, that means that account should be the credited. But the question is that which account should be the debited? So the correct answer, that is a furniture account should be the debited. This is how we solve the questions of the multiple questions. And I'm hoping that with my sessions, you all are just growing just day by day. I'm just hoping that, because multiple concepts I actually explain, I always try to explain in my lectures, right? It's the same way. I just want to say, if you're just liking our efforts, liking our content, just hit the like button on this video and share this video to your friends and subscribe the Officer Sada 247 YouTube channel, so that you can get everything like at a one place. Okay. So if I just like again, just I just want to tell you that, like, just enroll fast in the target batch, because the limited seats are there. And the very important thing I would like to tell you, this is a target batch. I'm just telling about the target batch, that on that, I'm just teaching you that AB subject, and this is especially for the English medium aspirant. So just if you're also, I want to say that with this you are also just going to get the mock test as well as a ebook, and both the things are very important for your preparation. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining me in this session. Now we will meet on the tomorrow at the same time. Okay. So thanks everyone for joining me here.